All right, some Senate lawmakers are exploring an immigration bill that would force every U.S. worker, citizen or not, to carry a high-tech identity card to prove their eligibility to work. But it has some privacy groups concerned. Here now with more is the Wall Street Journal's Danny Yadron. Danny, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So on first blush, people look at this and think everybody, a citizen or not, will have to carry a new ID card. I mean, is that really what they're proposing?
Well, what they're proposing is more akin to a high-tech Social Security card, which something you should not be carrying around with you everywhere you go. But privacy groups such as the ACLU and some libertarian groups, they see this as an inevitable national ID, something you would eventually use at the airport to vote, something you would essentially have with you at all times.
And how do lawmakers see this really improving the immigration issue as it is right now?
Well, one of the biggest problems of immigration, and we spend a lot of time talking about border security or visas or things like that, is that how do you determine who is eligible to work in the country? Now, there is a system known as E-Verify. It's used by some companies voluntarily and some states require it. But this is a system that relies on a matching name, date of birth, and social security number, things that are stealable. And so what lawmakers are looking for is some sort of foolproof way for people to prove they are who they say they are.
And how many senators at this point are behind this as this bill gets fleshed out?
So there's a gang of 8 senators right now trying to work out some sort of compromise. At least 5 of them have voiced support for this idea in the past, and at least 3 are open about wanting this to be in the forthcoming bill.
Now, I know a lot of privacy groups are concerned about this and perhaps not only what's being proposed, but where it could lead to. Tell us sort of what their view is on this.
Well, their view is, if I was talking to someone at the ACLU and they described this as, if you build it, they will come. And if you make some sort of ID card that everyone in the country has, inevitably this will get used for many of the basic functions you do in daily life. And then aside from that, it becomes something where some of the privacy groups worry that there can be targeting, where only, not everyone is asked to show this ID card all the time. And so people are worried that this is a federal intrusion on daily life.
And I got from your story as well that there are critics say that this could be just a very expensive undertaking and really wouldn't have the results that are intended. Tell us about that view. What are some of the critics saying here?
What critics are saying is, one, this is something that would be incredibly expensive. And even when we talk to the White House, they say they're looking for something that does, counter fraud, but is also cost effective. And there are studies that show, this would cost the government more than $22 billion just to get off the ground, not to mention, yearly upkeep costs. And so there's a lot of concern from critics about, is this the best way to solve it, and would it even work?
All right, Danny. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning and bringing it to us. And of course, people can read more about this ID card or proposed ID card on WSJ.com.